Get back in here. Sit down. What's your problem? Be quiet. Be quiet. Or I'll hold you in contempt of court. You might want to reconsider representing yourself, Mr. Colton. The court is now calling City of Contempt versus Philip Colton. Case number 23T. Mr. Colton, did you understand all of the rights and plea options I explained to everyone?
Welcome back, guys. Today's video is a wild one. This sovereign citizen walked into court thinking he could outsmart the entire legal system and the judge, all without a lawyer. Bold move, right? But it gets even crazier when he tries to get the last word by throwing shade at the judge on his way out. Like, bro, you're already losing. Mocking the judge isn't exactly the power play you think it is. Judges aren't there to listen quietly and take disrespect. They can and will respond, especially when you turn their courtroom into your personal soapbox. Let me know in the comments, was the judge too harsh or did this guy earn every bit of what came next? Let's get into this case and break it all down.
For the most part, if I'm not wrong, I am entitled to a crash report or an accident report, I should say.
Well, if you're not wrong, then you want to plead not guilty today, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so, and that can be obtained by you and or your attorney from the law director or the prosecutor's office.
I have asked, I've went to records and it is not available.
Okay, well, we can deal with that later.
Okay.
This is your initial appearance hearing. Did you have any questions about the rights and plea options I explained to you earlier?
No, sir.
Did you receive a copy of this traffic citation that was issued on November 4th, 2020?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay, you are charged with one count of stopping after or failing to stop after an accident or leaving the scene of a crash or accident. A violation of section 335.12A1 of the Contempt City Ordinances. If you're convicted of this offense, it's first degree misdemeanor. If you're convicted of this offense, you face a maximum 6 months in jail and a maximum fine of $1,000. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Also, if there is anyone who is damaged as a result of your actions and you're convicted of this offense, the court could order restitution, order you to pay restitution to that victim of up to $5,000. Do you understand that as a possible consequence? Finally, if you're convicted of this offense, you face a minimum license suspension of 6 months up to a maximum 3 years. So do you understand that as a possible consequence? And how do you wish to plead to this charge? The court will accept your not guilty plea. Are you asking the court to consider appointing an attorney to represent you?
No, sir.
Okay, will you be retaining an attorney?
No, sir. I'll be representing myself.
That's not a wise thing, Mr. Colton, to represent yourself. You're not an attorney. You don't know the legal processes. So I
do have that right, though, right?
You sure do, sir.
Okay.
So you wish to represent yourself.
Yes, sir.
Do you read and write English for the record?
Yes, sir.
I'll provide you a document. It's entitled Waiver of Counsel. Take a few minutes to read it. If you find it acceptable, you can sign in date at the bottom.
This is the part where everything starts falling apart, and honestly, it's kind of painful to watch. The second you decide to represent yourself in a criminal case, you're basically saying, yeah, I'd like to lose, please. I mean, even people with actual legal training wouldn't walk into court alone on something this serious. So what makes this guy think his homemade legal strategy is going to work? It's like trying to do brain surgery after watching one tutorial online. Maybe he thought quoting random laws from the internet would impress the judge, but all it did was make things worse. If anyone in the comments can explain the thought process here, I'd love to hear it, because that was a bold move with zero payoff. Let's get into the video.
Court finds the defendant has executed in open court the written waiver of counsel document. In this case, Mr. Colton has decided to represent himself, so he will be pro se. Okay, Mr. Colton, I do not have a written bond recommendation from the prosecutor or law director, as this was a citation issued by the police officer, so I have to ask you a few questions. Do you live, the ticket has you at 5 West Main?
Yes, sir.
What's the apartment number?
37.
37 in Conneaut. How long have you lived there?
4 years.
4 years? Let's see, Mr. Colton has no prior criminal history in this court. His last traffic violation was back in 2008. Mr. Colton does not represent to be a flight risk. I will set bond in the amount of $5,000 personal recognizance. And I will set this case for a pretrial conference in the near future. We're being released on your own recognizance, Mr. Colton. You're going to go, when you leave the courtroom, you're going to go to the clerk's window. They're going to give you a date and time for your next hearing. That will be the only notice you receive from the court, so make sure you put it on your calendar. If you fail to appear for that hearing, I'll revoke your bond and then I'll issue a bench warrant for your arrest, okay? You could also, the city of Conneaut, have $5,000 if you're found, if you aren't here when you're supposed to be here. Do you understand?
Yes.
Do you have any questions for me?
Yes, I do.
Okay, I am not your attorney. I am not your legal advisor. So if you're going to ask me, like you're not the first one who's going to ask me legal questions. I cannot answer your legal question, only procedure. So you have any procedural questions for me?
Yes, I do.
Go ahead.
I would like to know why I am not getting an accident report.
Mr. Colton, you're going to represent yourself. There are what we call rules of discovery. So I would advise you to talk to the prosecutor or law director's office, which is across the hall, and then they'll provide that to you.
Is there a reason you can't?
This is where we get into the situation where a non-lawyer isn't familiar with the procedures. The court doesn't provide discovery. Discovery is exchanged between the parties.
How come the records office will not give me a copy?
Talk to the law director's office. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Get back in here.
Sir, get back in court.
Sit down. What's your problem?
I believe I'm getting railroaded.
You just pled not guilty to a charge. I found you not guilty. I've accepted the not guilty plea. Be quiet! Be quiet! Or I'll hold you in contempt of court. Now, why do you feel railroaded? Because you went to the police department and asked for a copy of the report. You went to the wrong office. And any attorney would know that. You go to the law director's office, which is prosecuting this case. And you don't get it from the court. Any attorney knows that. You might want to reconsider representing yourself, Mr. Colton.
No, sir.
Okay. Do you have any other noises you want to make before you leave this courtroom?
No, thank you.
Then get out of here without making a noise.
Yes, sir.
Man, I don't know what this guy was expecting, but that courtroom chewed him up and spit him out. He walked in acting like he had it all figured out, throwing around fake legal terms like he was casting spells, and left looking like someone just spoiled the ending of his favorite conspiracy theory. You could just tell the judge had enough the moment he started interrupting for the 10th time. And honestly, I don't even think the judge went too far. When you act like the law doesn't apply to you, don't be surprised when the law claps back harder than you were ready for. What really gets me is that these sovereign citizens keep running the exact same play. Represent yourself, argue nonsense, lose, rinse and repeat. And they always act shocked when it doesn't work. Like they haven't watched 1,000 clips of people just like them getting absolutely humbled in court. It's like trying to beat a video game on expert mode without reading the instructions. Public defenders exist for a reason, and even a basic one would have saved this guy from turning himself into a legal punchline. But nope, he wanted to be the main character in the courtroom drama, and all he got was a one-way ticket to a holding cell. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this legal disaster unfold as much as I did. Let me know in the comments, do you think the judge handled it the right way, or would you have been even tougher on him? Also, if you've got any theories on why sovereign citizens think this stuff works, drop those too, because I need answers. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want more breakdowns like this. I post every day, and trust me, the chaos never stops. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.